Lyra had always been different. While other mermaids her age were content to weave pearls into their hair or race dolphins through the kelp forests, she was a creature of the surface. Each night, she would find her favorite rock, its surface smoothed by millennia of tides, and she would lift her gaze to the vast, star-dusted sky. Her grandmother's stories spoke of them as fallen tears of the moon, but the humans who sailed their wooden shells above her world called them shooting stars. They believed that a wish made upon one would be granted. Lyra, caught between two worlds, chose to believe the human myth. Her wish was always the same. "I wish to walk in their world," she would whisper to the silent streaking lights. "I wish to feel the sand between toes I do not have, to dance on the earth, and to know the warmth of a sun that doesn't shimmer through water." For years, her wishes fell on deaf stars. They would blaze and vanish, leaving her with the same shimmering tail and a heart heavy with longing. But one night, the sky behaved differently. The air was crisp, the moon a sliver of polished shell, and the stars seemed closer than ever. Then it came, not a fleeting scratch of light, but a brilliant, slow-moving star that burned with a blue-white intensity, so bright it cast her shadow on the water. With a heart pounding against her ribs, Lyra whispered her familiar wish, pouring every ounce of her hope into the words. "Please, just for one night." The star seemed to pulse in response. As its light faded, a strange shimmering dust, like powdered diamonds, drifted down from the sky. It settled on the waves around her, and then, on her, a tingling warmth spread from the tip of her tail to the very core of her being. It wasn't painful, but it was immense, a feeling of being unmade and remade. She felt a pull, a separation, and watched in awe as the iridescent scales of her tail dissolved into a cascade of silver light. Where one powerful limb had been, there were now two slender, pale appendages. Tentatively, she moved one. A foot, with 5 wiggling toes, dipped into the cool water. A laugh bubbled out of her, a sound of pure, unadulterated joy. She pushed herself off the rock, expecting to sink, but her new body knew what to do. She swam clumsily to the shore, her legs kicking in an uncoordinated but effective rhythm. When her feet touched the sandy bottom, she stood. The sensation was overwhelming. The coarse, dry sand shifted beneath her soles, a feeling both alien and utterly delightful. She took a step, wobbled, and took another. Each movement was a miracle. She walked along the water's edge, feeling the retreating foam kiss her ankles. Then she ventured further, leaving webbed footprints in the damp sand. She found a meadow where the grass was dewy and cool. She ran her hands through the blades, marveling at their sharp, green smell. She plucked a flower, a simple daisy, and stared at its perfect yellow heart. The world was so loud with crickets and the rustle of leaves, so textured and real. Her adventure led her to a small, sleeping human village. Lanterns glowed in windows, and the smell of baked bread still hung in the air. She saw a pair of boots left outside a door, and with a mischievous grin, she slipped them on. They were heavy and clumsy, but the solid thump they made on the packed earth was a satisfying percussion to her new existence. The night was a whirlwind of sensation. She danced under an oak tree, her movements clumsy but ecstatic. She tasted rainwater from a barrel, its flat, clean taste a novelty after a lifetime of salt. She watched an owl swoop silently from a barn, a lord of this airy kingdom. As the first hint of pink touched the eastern sky, a familiar tingling returned to her legs. The wish, she realized, was tied to the night. She didn't fight it. She walked back to the shore, savoring every last grain of sand, every final step. She sat on her rock as the sun began to rise, its light setting the waves on fire. The transformation back was as gentle as the first. The shimmering dust returned, and her legs fused, scales creeping back over the skin until her powerful tail, once a cage, now felt like a homecoming. She slipped beneath the waves. The silence and weightlessness, a familiar embrace, but she was changed. The ocean hadn't lost its beauty. It had gained a new dimension. She now knew the crush of dry earth, the scent of pine, the weight of the air. That evening, as she returned to her rock, her friends teased her. "There you are, Lyra, always staring at that empty sky." Lyra just smiled, a secret, knowing smile. She ran a webbed hand over the smooth stone, her fingers tracing a faint, gritty residue of sand. The sky wasn't empty. It was a canvas of possibilities. And she, the mermaid who had danced on land, knew that sometimes the most impossible wishes are the ones the stars are most eager to grant. The end. Thank you for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.